Okay. So the last time we played, there was a lot of talking to giant lords and convincing them not to kill the small folk, and then you guys found out about the betrayal of Ymira and most likely both the daughters that were not currently sitting on the throne. Uh, Sarissa is now paralyzed uh, due to the magic of the throne she sits on, as well as the scepter that was stolen by Ymira. And then Uther gave you guys a strange wooden coin, this golden bird on it. And he said it was the only clue that they found when they were investigating uh, the murder of King Hekaton's wife. So now you guys have the option to teleport wherever you would like to. If you go to one of the teleportation circles that the Harpers gave you access to, it's pretty much a guaranteed thing. If you guys try to go somewhere else, it's much more up to chance, we'll say, on whether you actually get there or if you go somewhere similar to it or just somewhere completely random, depending on what role you do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Uther asked you to investigate the coin and see if you could find anything that would help, perhaps, with the location of King Hekaton.
Gotcha. If we teleport away from here, can we also now teleport back now that we know where it is, or do we have to use the conch still?
Um, you would have to use, well, technically, no, you would have to use the conch. Yeah,
Okay, gotcha. It's a one-way thing, from the sounds of it.
kind of. You're using the magic of this cave that has the ability, like innately, to teleport to use the teleport spell.
Mm, okay.
But the Harper circles are basically connected, and you can't like cast teleport. You can only use those circles. So to get back to the storm giant lair, you would have to use the conch again.
Okay. Does anyone remember where the uh, the Harper guy that we spoke to, the one that gave us Whisper, was it Everland or Mirabar? I know I have them written down, the circles, but I don't remember where we actually seen him.
Uh, that was in.
I think it was Everland, but don't quote me on it.
It was where we got the lucky coin. I know that.
It was in
I've heard.
Crow and Valharo. Wait, no,
That
was
sounds
that the
like a
guy's
person.
name? Yeah.
What is the name of the Harper Archwizard that you guys spoke to? Yes.
Yeah. Hold on, I got this.
If you want me to tell you the answer, just let me know.
That's fine with me. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, that's fine with me
Citadel
too.
Felbar. I have no idea.
No, Felbar is one of the kingdoms of the dwarves.
Oh, so he's may appear then
I could
somewhere.
have sworn it was either Everland or Mirabar. One of the two. I just don't remember which one it was.
Uh,
It was
Silveryman.
indeed Everland.
Everland.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Um, yes,
Okay.
Everland. Mirabar was that one where it was like the dwarves sort of had that kingdom inside the mountain, while the humans had
Ah,
another place on the outside,
gotcha.
close to the spine of the world.
Okay. Well, if it's up to the group, I mean, my suggestion is to go to Everland, talk to him first, see what he
Mhm.
can scry, or inform us as to what this coin is or where it came from,
Yep.
unless someone else has an idea.
are we gonna try and visit the Oracle?
I
Was
I
that
think
one
that
of
would
our ideas
be
too?
I think that would be like Plan B, only because the
Okay,
temple is probably smashed at the moment,
but yeah,
unless
very
unless the giants in the meantime have cleaned it up. I can't
right.
imagine we can get in there right now. But
Yeah,
that
okay.
would be a Plan B.
I would say we probably go tell what's his name, the stone, whatever his name was, the
Well,
king,
we
where
haven't
it
traveled
is.
yet. We could ask Uncle Uther or whatever his name is. If it's possible to possibly get to work on restoring the temple so that we can access the oracle, and then that would be
Okay.
like, again, we have access to Plan B. So
Mhm.
I don't know if we could like say, hey, the Temple of the Allfather is destroyed at the moment, or parts of it is. Could you send help in restoring it and give us access to the Oracle room so that we can possibly help you in your quest to restore Sarissa, that kind of thing?
We could probably scry that, right? Or the
Well, yeah, either the Harper can scry if it's not protected by magical means,
true.
or if he just knows the general, origin story of the coin, maybe that would lead us in the right direction without even having to scry. But the Oracle would definitely be able to answer some questions, I would imagine, regarding the coin. So I guess before we leave, can we scoop up some of that as backup? Can we scoop up some of that stone dust that came from those creations?
Sure.
I mean, that way we can show the Harpers, hey, this is what the dragon used against us. Is there any magic that you're aware of that, like where would this have come from? That kind of thing. I don't know if it's going to help, but it might be something. So, yeah, I guess if we can, we'll just let Uncle Uther know that we might need access to the Oracle if you wouldn't mind sending giants down to clean it up. Is that something he'd be willing to do?
What's that? Just to collect some of that stone remnants of whatever the
that's the other part of it.
Yeah.
The stone remnants, like as evidence, possibly figure out the origin of that. Also tell Uther about the Temple of the Allfather. Maybe he can help clean that up for us, or at least clear a path so that we can get to the Oracle should the Harper strategy fail.
Okay.
So I guess we'll do that.
Okay.
Plus,
So
we could find out how Harshnag is, whether he's alive or dead too.
Well, apparently they hate Harshnag, right? The Frost Giants.
Oh,
so
they do.
We'll have to, I guess, maybe we'll find that out if we ever visit the Allfather Temple.
We
can ask the Oracle. The Oracle might know.
right.
Sorry, Nick. Didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, it's okay. So yeah, you guys can collect some of that stone rubble, whatever you want to call it. That's fine. You scoop it into one of your bags. If you inquire to Uther about the temple, he will say there are several pressing matters that we are trying to tend to currently, but I will task some of the stone giants with looking into the temple and seeing if it is, well, just the current state of it, if it's possible to restore it, if it's just what kind of damage we're even looking at here will be a huge factor in how long it would take to make it usable once again.
Okay. Sounds good. Do we remember where we left our airship?
I have no idea.
Where did we park?
It was outside where the wasn't it? It was either in the town or it was near the Hill Giants.
Well, no,
Where we left.
we didn't use the conch. No, we teleported. We used the airship to get back to town, and I think once we got back to town and bought stuff, we used the conch.
So
But I'm trying to remember which town we went back to. It would have
It was
been.
the nearest town. I think.
It might have been Waterdeep or I don't know if anyone happens to remember.
I think it was the nearest town. I know for sure. It was like a town
Pretty sure it was
over there.
Waterdeep, yeah.
Okay.
Waterdeep. Okay.
All right. So I say Waterdeep is along our fast travel. So what we could do is we could teleport to the Harpers, and then get some information from him, then teleport to Waterdeep, and then get our airship, and then go from there. So okay. If anyone has any other things to ask or anything to add, now's the time. Okay. I don't hear anything. So I say we teleport to the Harpers in Everland.
Okay. Going to see good friend Crowan.
Hope I don't call him Deckard Cain by accident.
He'll tell you to stay a while and listen. That's not his name.
Does anyone need to do any shopping or anything while we're here?
I picked up some stuff prior to us leaving, so
Oh,
I still
yeah.
have potions and stuff. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
saving for 4 million gold.
Good luck.
I know.
I wouldn't mind going to see a magic user shop to add some commands to my animated shield if I could.
Yeah, if you can, go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to try and do that, I don't know how much it costs, so
Yeah, I have no idea either. I have to defer to Nick on that.
Yeah, it would definitely take some time, I would think. All right, but you guys are here in Everland, so what is the game plan?
well, I say we go visit the Harpers.
Okay, well, you teleport into the Moonlean Tower, which is where the teleportation circle is, so
Nice.
you are surrounded by Harpers.
Okay. Well, can we request to see Crowan then?
Sure. And after a few minutes, he sort of walks in with his walking stick. Says, "Oh, friends, it's been a while. How have you been?"
Well, a lot has happened. So, without having to spend like an hour recapping our entire adventures, I'll just simply say that we informed him as to everything that's happened up to this point. We tell him about the storm giants and Sarissa being turned to stone, about the blue dragon pretending to be an advisor and trying to overthrow and trying to get the sisters to get in on it, that kind of thing. And we show him the coin and we just say, "Would you happen to know anything about this coin? It's our only clue into figuring out where King Hecaton might be and where the blue dragon might be residing."
Says, "I don't recognize it. It's pretty unusual for anyone to use anything but gold dragons for currency. Perhaps it could be a faraway land. I'm not sure."
Hmm.
Um, Gold dragons just being normal gold coins, by the way.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Would you be able to do any sort of scry on it? Maybe like figure out what land it came from? Uh, any magical properties that you might have that might aid us in pointing us in the right direction?
Oh, fortunately, scrying doesn't exactly work like that.
I see.
I could
It's
try casting a spell called Legend Lore on it, and he, waves his arms around and chants his magical spell, holding the coin in his hand. And he says, "No, it doesn't give me anything."
Hmm.
Do we have to all cry in order for it to work?
What?
No, that's scry, dear, not
Right.
Oh,
try.
sorry.
I try with my little eye.
Wow. Okay. Um, do you have any historians on coins such as this that might be able to give us, uh, that might recognize this coin? Do you have any like historians in Everland that you could point us to?
Oh, perhaps there's one person who likes to live more in the past than the present. Uh, let me go fetch him.
Sure.
He starts hobbling out, and he returns with another man, much younger, but still quite old, not spry, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Yes, I believe you have some sort of coin that you would like to show me."
Yes. And I just hand over the coin or show it to him and say, "We're looking for the origin of this coin and possibly where it came from."
He looks at it, and immediately he says, "It's certainly no ancient piece, that's for sure. It looks like it was quite recently made, honestly. I wouldn't say that this was from any kind of ancient civilization or, uh, you know,
Hmm.
discontinued society or anything like this. It looks relatively new."
Interesting. So it's possible that another land might be using this as currency as opposed to. I mean, it sounds like all of this land you're using dragon coin, so it's possible that this coin here might be the common currency for a different land far away.
It's possible. it's more of a hypothesis more than anything. I wouldn't take that as fact.
I see. Well, what would you recommend? Do you have any people around here that travel all over the land as you guys know it, as we all know it, and have seen all sorts of different things in their travels? Would they be able to possibly point us in the right direction?
It's hard to say. Most of the people who we send out to far distant lands typically stay there and just report to us, whether magically or by mail.
Okay. Nev, you said, did we already make an insight or perception check to see about this coin? Well, yeah, I don't think we did a perception. Insight, I think, is just to figure out if someone's lying. So it'd be perception, I think. So if everyone wants to do a perception or arcana, I don't know if one of us would recognize it. Very doubtful, but
Yeah, if you want to try to see if there's anything magical about it, do an arcana. If you want to try to just figure out more about it, you could maybe try a investigation check.
Okay. I'll do arcana because both my perception arcana is pretty low.
Would it be possible?
Bam! I like that.
Oh, there you go.
That's
that
my
answers my
one and
question.
only arcana 20 ever.
Okay. Natural 20's pretty good. So while Saberwolf, but it's okay for arcana though. Yeah, it's not magical.
Great. Here, Vinny, you roll your investigation.
Oni,
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this: as you're looking over the coin and you're like racking
Oh,
your
I rolled a
brain.
natural one.
Can I bite into it too?
Sure.
See if it
And
bends.
it is wooden, so you leave slight teeth marks in it.
Oh shoot.
Um,
Bad.
but you're thinking about it. You're like, it's like, okay, it's obviously used as some sort of currency, but everybody uses the gold dragon. What's the point? And you're thinking, and you think to yourself, could it be like a gambling chip or something like that?
Hmm.
Are there any casinos?
Casinos.
Like-
Where's your blackjack tables? Wow.
Crown will say, I can't say that I know much about that. I've never been much of a gambler. But I know that if you were just to go into some tavern, they typically would just bet with gold dragons. If this is indeed some sort of a gambling chip, then it would have to come from some sort of establishment that is made for that purpose, I would think.
You.
All right.
Would it be possible for me to do a tactical assessment on this coin? Because I could roll a superiority die and add that total to a roll for investigation. Could I do
Sure.
that? Okay. Investigation. So I got an 8. So if I roll a superiority die, then I'll just add on to it.
Well, I
Right.
don't think that would beat her 14, but what's your superiority die? Is it a D8?
I think it is a D8, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah, so
Okay.
at best you can
So
get
that'll
2
be-
more on than
So that
Pony.
would work. Okay. Okay.
What I was
Shot.
thinking. I'm sorry. I thought you were done. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm done. Go ahead.
My bad. I was thinking, like, if we do go into a tavern, I could do like a minor illusion of like a bunch of these coins, like a pile of these coins, and just like bet on them. Like, I don't
That'd be
know,
fun.
doing like a gambling, like all in, and then if people find out they were fake, it'd be like some sort of brawl. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of fun.
That would give us no clue as to where any. You just want to start a fight, is what this comes down to.
Nah. Maybe.
Well, Vinny has his thieves' camp. We can always try. Maybe he can figure out.
We should probably ask him about the remains first to see about because.
Oh yeah. So we've. I guess we'll also, while we're here, we'll just say, hey, we have these stone remains that were conjured by the dragon. They were. I guess these stone remains took the form of an actual person, pretending to be guards, among other things. So, are you aware of any magic that would allow a stone rubble piece such as this to actually resemble human form?
He sort of pulls at his beard as he's thinking about all the information you've given him. And he says, "Oh dear, it could be. Yes, it does make sense, I suppose. This could be the work of the Doom of the Desert, Imrith. She has been known to create gargoyles and use them to defend her lair."
Okay.
Lord help me, how many characters does this campaign have?
I think Emerith was the name of the dragon, was it not?
Oh, is it?
I thought. Was it?
Well, Imrith is the name of a dragon. If you're thinking about Ymira, that was...
Ymira. Okay, that's okay.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
a different. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what if Ymira was just the stage name for the blue dragon?
Oh, that's true.
I don't know. I mean, it sounds like these two are related.
Or the cult dragon, whatever happened to that the dragon.
The red
That-
one that gave us the
yeah.
airship. I don't know. Who knows?
His
This-
name, I believe, was Klauth.
Cloud.
So I guess I'll ask the Harpers. This Emirith, is this a blue dragon? Who is Emirith?
Yes, that is how I was able to connect the dots. She's a ancient blue dragon
Oh crap.
who is known to roam the deserts to
Oh.
the east.
So it's possible that this dragon that we seek is east in the desert. Possibly.
Yes, but
You-
she is an ancient dragon. If you were to face her, you would surely be destroyed.
Can
Do
you
you know-
scry her?
It's possible, but I would imagine she would have taken countermeasures against such magic.
Dude.
Do you know of any like enemies that the blue dragon has? Or like weaknesses? I
Oh,
was gonna say no.
possible. No. All I know that she is a blue dragon, and therefore she is immune to lightning damage. That's all that I can tell you.
Hmm.
Okay. So
Should
there's could be some sort of element
yeah.
that could mess her up.
Should we elicit the help of Harshnag? Because wasn't it Harshnag that fought the same blue dragon? Or maybe it was a different blue dragon, but they were similar. That's the gist that I got from last week. Of course, we have to find him, but what do you guys think about that?
Well, yeah. We could try. Any giant help at this point would be great. I mean, the
Yep.
blue dragon is massive. Can you scry a friend of ours named Harshnag? He's a frost giant that might be able to help us battle the blue dragon.
Oh, do you have any personal items that he had maybe given you? It would help greatly in trying to locate him.
I don't
Let's
remember,
see.
guys. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
All right.
This is very well. I will try nonetheless, but there is a possibility of failure.
Okay.
Okay.
So, what we have here is a coin, possibly. Oh, okay, that's a failure.
Just for a moment, he is able to just glimpse Harshnag, who, to your surprise, is still alive.
Wow. Okay.
But he
Very cool.
says, it looks like he's in some dimly lit room. It seems that there's some sort of portal in this room.
Could be the Oracle room.
All right, so we might have to head back to the Oracle and see about setting him free or whatnot. Okay. Well, if it's, does anyone have any other questions for the Harpers?
Who was the Oracle's father that they wanted us to find?
And that wasn't the Oracle's father. There was
Oh,
a spirit or whatever in the Oracle room that wanted us to kill his father
oh
for
yeah.
him, but we never
That's
investigated
sad.
that. Wow. All right. Yeah. Unless anyone has any other questions for the Harpers, I say we move on to get our airship in Waterdeep and then head to the Temple of the Allfather to see what state that's in. And then maybe the Oracle can help us if we can get access to it and find Harshnag in the process. Is that everyone agreed?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's my vote.
Okay,
Want to buy another horn before we go?
go for it.
Oh yeah, I want to buy one too.
Wow.
Thanks, Lily, for reminding me there.
Well, you guys are in luck. At the local magic shop, they happen to have 2 horns of blasting.
Uh,
They're, they're like
what's their
500,
current
right?
price?
I believe they're 450 gold.
450 gold. Could I ask them about adding commands to an animated shield?
Yes. But the little shopkeep, who is a gnome, says, "Well, what kind of command would you like?"
Well, I would like to add a command called mount up to where I'd be able to ride my shield up to 30 feet.
He says, "Doesn't seem like you mean like it's flying and you jump on top of it and kind of use it like that."
Yes, like a magic carpet sort of thing.
Oh, I see. That would be a little difficult to actually implement, but if you had, say, 1,500 gold pieces, it probably would take us about a week to fully enchant it.
I did want to get that horn of blasting though. um. You know what? Let's do it. I have 1,537 gold, so I'll
You're going
be
all
down
in?
to yeah. I'll just be down to 37 gold then. I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
Now,
And
I
add
would
that
like
to
to make it abundantly clear so that there's no miscommunications here about your expectations. The shield will simply float about 5 feet off the ground. It's not going to fly in the air like some sort of magic carpet, as you call it.
Okay. How far would it be able to travel?
Well, could potentially be infinite, I suppose.
Oh wow. So would that basically negate my 30 feet of movement then, or would that still apply to?
No, so it would basically be like your movement, but rather than like, I think the main benefits of this, I would think, is you would be able to cross over difficult terrain. You can go over water. You can basically ignore stuff on the ground by basically climbing on top of your shield and sort of riding it forward. It would still like hold your uh, uh, movement speed.
Um, yeah, true, but I do have my I do have a fairly high athletics, so I think I'd rather use that than to navigate tough terrain and go over ford rivers and stuff. Um,
You can
see, what
cross
were
chasms with it. Like, I guess it would in that scenario. Like, let's say you're at like a big canyon or something. You could theoretically make it to the other side as long as the gap wasn't too large.
interesting.
Like, if you're going very slowly, then if you went from like okay, let's imagine this. I don't want to get too deep into this, but let's say
Yeah, sorry.
you're on the ground, you're floating 5 feet over that, and then 10 feet ahead of you is like a huge drop, like let's say 50 feet. Like your shield is always going to be 5 feet above the ground, but if you had speed, you could use it to jump over that chasm. Um, if not, you're just going to sort of slowly fall until you're at 5 feet above the ground again. You understand?
Oh, so I'd go across and then dip down and then go back up again? Is that what you're saying?
Kind of. I'm just saying, like, you can use it if you had enough momentum to get across big, larger gaps. But if you're trying to, like, pass something that's like 100 feet across, you're not going to make it.
It's a
Oh,
hoverboard
right.
from Back to the Future too.
Yes,
Yeah,
essentially.
Okay, well, how about this? Instead of that, how much would it be to imbue my shield with a bash and stun command?
Bash and stun command.
Yeah.
So you're thinking like
I could command it to, like, to go, I'll just say run into him, I guess, is the best way I could put it, and, stun him or her or it,
Okay. That one.
That'd be more useful than a hoverboard, but
Yeah, I definitely agree there. I'm not exactly sure how many deep chasms we're going to come across. That might be better use.
I would say that if you wanted to do that, it would be an action. The creature would get like a con save or something like that. But if you're still interested in that, then we could do that for like 1,500 as well. And Sunset, give me a persuasion check with advantage.
There you go.
Okay, yeah. So the frequent customer loyalty program that they just invented for you says that they will take 100 gold off your
Sweet.
your horn.
Oh, very nice.
Under the assumption that you will come back and buy more from them, of course.
Probably.
Okay, so just to reiterate, so then the bash and stun command would just be like, would that take one of my actions, or did you say it would be like a bonus action? To
It would be an action.
An action.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that's a pretty powerful thing to stun an enemy, right?
Right. That's true. That's true. That's probably definitely worth it. I mean, it would take an action, but seeing as Bernard isn't the most skillful sword wielder around, that's pretty useful. Okay, let's do that. I'll imbue it with the bash and stun command.
Okay. So the gist of it is it'll take an action. The creature will get a Constitution saving throw, which is going to be 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your strength modifier. And if they fail that, then they are stunned until the start of your next turn.
Okay, let me just write this down real quick. Okay. Okay, I'm just typing this all down. So yeah, you can go ahead to other people who need to do shopping. I don't want to hold up the whole group. So
that's fine. I don't need to shop or anything.
I don't need to shop either.
Tony?
No, I'm saving.
You're saving for your 4 mil.
Oh yeah.
What are you going to do with 4 million gold?
No idea.
You're going to buy a town?
Probably.
Go into business for ourselves and just ignore all the crap that's going on.
Get
Same
out of
town.
this Forsaken.
Right.
The group of indecisiveness retires.
Yeah, but 4 million gold. Yeah, you guys would be set.
Yep.
Okay, so it seems that our magic shop escapade has concluded. So what is now the game plan?
So you said it's going to take a week roughly for that shield to be done.
Yeah, it's quite a process to imbue some like custom magics into an item.
Gotcha.
okay.
We
So
can head to,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
we
Go
can
ahead.
head to Waterdeep, pick up our airship, then come back, which is on the way to the Oracle. So by then, You know what I mean? We can just say we fast traveled to Waterdeep through the fast travel network, which is, and Waterdeep is to our southwest.
It's down here.
Right. So we could fast travel there, get our airship, and then travel north again to Everland, which is to the right by the Evermoors and the High Forest.
Yeah.
And then once we're done with, when we can pick up your shield, because I'm sure it's going to take about a week for us to travel via airship between the two locations, and then we can head to the Temple of the Allfather to see the status of the Oracle and Harshnag.
That sounds good. I just have to keep in mind if we encounter any resistance, I'll have to remember to subtract 1 point from my AC.
Yeah, unless, I mean, well, we're going to be traveling, fast travel to Waterdeep is instantaneous. Traveling in the air, I mean, we're going to, unless we meet a dragon along the way, and Nick, you better
True.
not.
Hang on, I got it. Just give me a second. I got to make a map up real quick.
Right,
Don't
yeah,
mind
right.
me.
Oh,
That just gives them fuel.
So I think we'll be okay unless Nick wants to be really sadistic about it.
No, you guys can pretty much make that entire journey unperturbed.
Okay, cool.
And just while we're on this map, this Anarok Desert over here, all the way to the east.
Oh, okay.
This is the desert that Crown was referencing. So as you can see, it's about the size of the entire Sword Coast. So it would be no easy task to
Right.
start looking if you were
Gotcha.
trying to go that route.
What is Ascor a city? Ascor?
Yeah, it's a small little town right on the edge of the desert.
Okay. It's either that or Parnast. I mean, one of those two might have some information about the desert or the whereabouts. Just a thought. But anyway, so yeah, if you guys wanna, we'll do what we did: fast travel Waterdeep to Everland to pick up the shield via airship, and then we'll head back to the Temple of the Allfather, which is, I believe, northwest, something like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're able to do that. Just make sure you take out that gold. I'm sure you probably already have.
Yes, I'm down to 37. I had
Okay.
1,537, so
You guys head sort of northwestish towards the spine of the world. And although it takes a little looking because last time you guys were on foot and you had Harshnag to guide you, eventually you guys are able, especially with Saberwolf's ranger skills, you're able to find the temple. And what you see is that it looks like the front. I'll show you the picture I had already shown you.
Mm-hmm.
Just so we could use that for reference. So you see that the columns that once stood here
Mm-hmm.
have all been smashed and crumbled, and it's sort of caved in to the mouth, the entrance of the temple. It looks completely impassable.
So it's impassable. Are there any giants around working on this? Did Uncle Uther send?
No, not yet.
Okay. Is there another way in? I mean, using my ranger abilities, I ignore difficult terrain. Do I see any other alternate entrances or any other ways in?
Give me a survival check.
Okay. Well, there's that. World's worst ranger. Let me tell you.
My shatter or heat metal wouldn't do anything to it, right?
No, those are stone columns.
To the entrance. I mean, it's just so incredibly caved in that
Okay.
you'd think that even using like shatter to try to break it open would take
Even
probably
Vince.
days.
No.
Yeah.
And then you don't know what the inside looks like either. If that's also caved in, then yeah.
Oof.
How about this? Can I sense any giants in the area? Like, do I sense Harshnag or just a giant in general inside?
You do.
Okay. The other alternative, folks, is to use the conch to get back to the maelstrom, and then try and teleport into the room that Harshnag is in, and then use the conch again to get out. But we would have to roll well on that, I'm assuming, to do that.
We still don't know where our snag is.
I'm assuming he's in that portal. I mean, according to the scrying, he was in a dimly lit room with a portal, was it? And that portal was where we entered into the Oracle's room. So if I had to guess, he's either in the portal, in the Oracle room, or the room where he was fighting the dragon. Still, if I had to guess.
So here's a stupid question. If we were to yell to him, would he be able to hear us?
Not a chance, no.
Not a chance. Okay.
Does anyone have any?
My question is, how did the dragon get in the first place?
Well, yeah, the dragon came in.
dragon
How did the
didn't
dragon
come-
get out of that? Is
Not
there,
sure.
like-
You're not sure if he, or the dragon, I mean, just was completely planning to destroy the temple and was just shattering things as he was leaving, or if maybe he's stuck in there too. You don't know.
If we fly over the temple with the airship, do we see a dragon-sized hole?
Well, the temple is built into the mountain.
Oh, okay. How'd it get in there?
It
That-
didn't come from the entrance. I know that.
How did? How,
I was gonna ask, is it more than 120 feet away, like where we are and where the
yeah.
where
Do you
is
remember?
it?
Do you remember how big that map
Yeah.
was?
It was pretty big.
With those statues, yeah.
All right.
It's a pretty grand chamber.
It was a good idea,
I don't
but
think
yeah,
I
it's a
can-
huge
I don't,
map.
I don't think
I was gonna use message to see if I can whisper something over there.
That's a good point. Could we send Whisper in? Is there enough room for her to fit in there? But then again, there would be the whole problem with communicating.
Yeah.
She could just fly around and I don't know.
Dimension door.
Dimension door, yeah.
I could try it, but with how big that room is, it's probably
Your dimension door is what, 120 feet?
no. It's 100. It's 500.
500, even 500. I don't.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. Unless that main room isn't collapsed, but we don't know. It'd be risky. I could
What are
just
we trying to
teleport
do
it.
again? I forgot. What we
We're
were
trying to get in there, access the Oracle, and see if Harshnag's in there. Which
Hmm.
there is a giant in there. I would assume so. So we're trying to find a way in. Is what we're doing. The giants aren't here yet to clear the way for us.
Yeah.
We can't find an alternate entrance unless we devote time to look again. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what else we can do.
Would there be enough cracks and crevices to where a Whisper would be able to make her way inside? Because of her
Actually,
size?
Yeah, I think it isn't out of the
Seven.
question.
They have
Or-
cracks and crevices big enough for us. These are, I mean, this is a giant thing. It wouldn't be any different for us to try and navigate through, would it? We're small.
Right, but yeah. I think in that case, I don't think even Whisper would be able to get through because it's pretty much just caved in, collapsed.
Okay, all right.
Is it like on top of a cliff?
Well, I don't know if it helps. I'm a master of navigating natural terrain. I ignore difficult terrain. So if there's some way to get in there, I would help the group overcome that obstacle. But I'm at a loss as to unless we teleport in with the teleportation thing. I don't know of another way to get in there from the outside.
What about polymorphing into that spider thing? Because doesn't that spider thing burrow?
Yeah, it does. That's how it made a nest by burrowing.
Could you burrow your way inside without collapsing the rest of the cavern, though?
I had no idea.
I mean, it burrowed into the wall and it didn't collapse it.
Could you make a new hole? Go in through the side?
That's a good point.
Could you polymorph into
A spider dog.
There you go.
We need the Horta from Star Trek. You know, the pizza monster that eats through rock. Anyway. No one
Yeah, that
watches
guy
Star
was
Trek.
ugly, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay, is the temple on a cliff?
Yeah, the temple's inside the cliff. Like it's built
There must
into
be,
it.
because I think the dragon came from below.
No, where?
I
Yeah. Well,
remember.
do we remember where the dragon came from? Was it from above? Like, did
I think it came from
it
below.
smash through a wall, or did it just appear out of nowhere?
No, it came in like through the entrance.
Oh, it came in through the entrance. Okay.
Yeah, it just sort of flew in and started.
See, I thought it smashed its way in through a different direction. Okay.
I thought it came from below.
No, well, he just said it, Vinny.
Yeah, because if it was insane, if it came from below, maybe we can climb down. Maybe there's an entrance in the bottom.
All right. Well, what do you folks want to do? I mean, clearly, I think the answer's in there. We just don't know from here. I mean, again, my thought is teleport in with through the maelstrom. Use the conch now, get back to the maelstrom, and then try and teleport in. If we fail a roll, are we going to appear inside solid rock and die? Or do we just appear near...
So let's see.
Just makes me laugh.
Oh, I'm asking because I want to cover my bases before we try it, you know?
So there's basically 4 different outcomes that can happen when you use the teleport spell. There's a mishap, similar area, off target, or on target. So basically how familiar you are with where you're trying to go gives you, it's like a D100 roll, and the familiarity you have with it sort of gives you the range of which one you're going to get. So like seen casually says if you roll a 1 to 33, then you have a mishap. A 34 to 43 is a similar area. A 44 to 53 is off target, and then a 54 to 100 is on target. So if a mishap is like you might just go somewhere completely random.
Gotcha.
A similar area is if you're trying to go to this temple, you might end up in another temple.
Okay.
Off target just means you'll teleport near where you're trying to go, but not exactly where you're trying to go. And then on target means you will go exactly where you're trying to go.
Would a better scry help us, give us advantage on this roll, or would it help us? Because there is a scry pool in the maelstrom that we were talking about earlier. What if we scried the inside of this temple, and that way we knew where the rubble was, we knew the current status of the inside of the place, and then we try and teleport in there, knowing that we've just seen the current state of it. That would help us with our teleporting, right? Would that, in theory, work?
It would give you more information, but the description of the teleport spell is basically saying like since you guys have been inside the temple and even inside the oracle chamber twice, I believe, right?
Right, we've been there a couple of times.
So I would give you like seen casually there. So I don't think you're going to get better than that from scrying.
Okay. Well, folks, what are your thoughts?
Well, we could try it. I mean, our only alternative is to start digging until the giants show up to help. I mean, would take forever, obviously.
How long would it take to clear the entrance? Oh, I mean, is it really that bad, or are we talking a couple of rocks here?
It's bad.
Bad. Okay.
Bad.
Is this our only?
Well, no. I mean, we could ignore this completely. Maybe we're not meant to be here yet. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, maybe go to a different tavern, figure out the coin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a different alternative branch we can explore rather than using the oracle and rescuing Harshnag. We can go to different taverns and see about the coin. That's the other thing we could do.
And the giants will still come and start digging out the temple, right?
Yeah. Uthor basically gave you his word that he's going to try to get the stone giant, the stone giants to work on it because this is kind of like their specialty.
All right.
But between the the word to get to the stone giants, then the stone giants then having to make their way here. It seems like you've beaten them here.
It sounds like we're meant to do the coin part before this part. It's what it sounds like. So, do you guys then want to travel to, I don't know, some sort of seedy tavern, possibly use a thieves' cant thing to see if we can get some ideas to the coin itself and its origins?
You
Yeah,
guys
that's
want to
fine.
go to what was that little town? Parnast? You
That's
guys
all.
want to go
That's
to
all the
Parnas?
way to the east. That's
Yeah.
all. I don't know if it would take a while to get there. Why don't we visit like somewhere closer? Does Marabar have some seedy taverns in it that might, or maybe? Well, Mirabar is part of the fast travel network. Yes, it is. So we could go to Mirabar, look at seedy taverns there, and then leave our airship there, and then maybe fast travel to Waterdeep, maybe visit some seedy taverns there. So we're sort of traveling all over, just to see if anyone's heard of this, if necessary. But again, I'm just sort of spitballing.
Yeah, basically, I just mentioned Parnas because the the desert's right here, so
Right.
you know we might be close to the dragon, but yeah, that's definitely a good idea too. I'm actually thinking that we may have more luck in the seaside towns, but we could try Mirabar first. Absolutely. So that's a great idea. If you guys want to.
Okay. What is the animal on the coin? Do we know what that is? Is that
Swan.
a swan?
It's a swan, yeah, I think so.
Interesting.
Blood swan. It looks like a gambling chip.
I wonder if it's like a casino or a bar named after a swan. You know what I mean? Like maybe we'll find a sign of a bar, or the name of the bar is the same as the currency's design. If that makes any sense, like the art.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually thinking it might be the name of a ship, as I was saying in the Discord chat, but
Okay, gotcha.
that might be true too. So we may come across a tavern with that same symbol, so who knows?
All right. Well, just to keep things moving, does anyone have any other suggestions before we head to Mirror Bar and ask around about this coin?
No.
All right. So I guess we'll travel to Mirror Bar, which is nearby, and we'll, assuming we get there safely, we'll ask around and see if anyone's seen this coin. And then if Vinny can do his thieves' cant, maybe he can point us in the right direction. He or she.
Okay, yeah, you guys dock your ship at Mirabar, in the outside town, of course.
Okay. All right. Can we just look for a nearby tavern or bar, and
Sure.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure you guys have been to one in this town. I just can't remember the name off the top of my head.
That's all right.
But we'll say, yeah, you go back to that bar that you're familiar with.
Okay. So, Vinny, do you want to do your thieves' cant thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Have to look for someone first.
That's fine. Yeah, do your thing, and then in the meantime, we'll ask the barkeep we'll ask officially the tender, or whatever, and then you do your thieves thing. We'll attack it from two fronts that way.
I'd like to order a White Russian.
Wait, what?
Russian.
White Russian.
Without the coffee and the vodka.
You cannot
describe it to me? I've never heard of a White Russian.
White Elven?
There's no
maybe?
such thing as a
It's
Russian drink without
cream, vodka, and coffee liqueur. But I said without
Cool.
Okay, without the coffee and without the vodka. So basically, I want cream.
Oh, why didn't you just say so? She gets like all flustered. Goes in the back and gets you some cream.
Oh goodness.
Wow.
Milk.
The bottle just says milk on it. Here's the cream.
I hand him a gold piece.
Happily tucks it into her pocket.
Oh my.
All right. So I guess I'll go up to the barkeep and just say, "Hey, are you familiar with this coin at all?" And I just quickly show it to him.
They got a nice tip off a gold coin, so.
Can't say that I am. Wish I could help.
Do we see like anyone playing any type of card game or anything on a table, like in the corner?
Yeah, sure.
No.
If you want to go up to him, hun, and ask, we have this gambling chip, but we don't know where the locale is. Could you point us in the right direction? Maybe come out.
No, wait. No. How about, okay, if I see like somebody like playing, can I dress up with an eye patch and stuff? I have my little disguise kit. Can I dress up like a I don't know, seedy looking
To what
Or
end?
gambler,
Or I can just do it.
and then go up to them and be like, "Hey, how much is it for me to get in?" Huh? To get in.
Be a performance check.
Oh Lord, help me.
Or I could do it.
Like she has to worry on performance.
Well, there you go.
Okay, you come off as a very seedy looking little gnome gambler,
Oh my goodness gracious.
and they say,
Don't forget your
"You
eye
even
patch.
know what we're playing?"
Oh yeah, I've played this game hundreds of times. I've even won my fair share of uh, uh, gold coinage, all types of different gold coinage from all over the realms. Um, in fact, this is, and then I pull out uh, that wooden chip. Like this one is a rare one, and I've won this one, and it was amazing. Yeah,
So what's your point?
seeing if they recognize it or if they want it.
Be a
Personally.
deception check first of all, unless what you're saying is true.
Shoot.
Still up.
They say, "Oh wow, I've never seen a gambling chip before. You must be quite the gambler," and they both chuckle. They go back to their game.
Ugh. All right.
Oh boy.
So they didn't invite me. Fine.
All right. Vinny, do you want to try your thieves' cant thing?
Sure. But
I limp away with my wooden leg.
So you're a pirate.
Yeah, basically.
imagining that, no,
Eye patch and a pirate.
I'm just imagining that.
I got Whisper on my shoulder.
Wow.
Whisper is a parrot.
All right, Vinny. So what do you need to do your
Well,
thieves'
fine.
cant thing?
Look for someone who looks darker. Well, yeah, kind
A
of.
shadowy character that you can
Yeah.
thieves' cant to?
Yeah, you see a seedy character sort of enjoying his drink alone in the corner.
All right. Well, thieves' cant away. Do your hand signals.
Well, it's a language, but
Whatever.
I do it.
Well, what do you want to say?
Oh,
I mean,
pull out the coin. I'm gonna point at the coin.
Just say we're looking for.
Yeah,
information.
we're looking for who this coin belongs to. Have you seen this before?
he says, "I've seen chips before, but not this one. If I look into it, it's going to cost you a little bit. Do you mind?"
No, I don't.
How
Will it
much?
be
25 gold.
20?
25 gold, Vinny. Do you want to do that, or do you want to try and come at it from a different approach?
I might as well do it. It's important, so we need to do it.
25. Do you know how much this coin is worth? No, I'm just kidding. Am I haggling?
You can't even.
I dropped a gold on cream, so it's not too much.
All right. Well, how about you get the information, then we'll pay you.
Let's get the information that we pay you.
He's a thief.
Says that's fine. Let me take the coin, and I'll see
Uh,
what I can figure out.
No, you're not taking the coin.
Oh.
Well, how am I supposed to find out more about it if I don't have it?
Well, can you? Can I do a rubbing with paper and pencil, and that way the symbol is on the paper? You know what I mean? Like the. Can I, just do a rubbing of it?
I can't guarantee how accurate it'll be if I only have a rubbing of it, but if that's what you want.
Yeah, that would probably be the best. It's something very important.
I can't
Alright.
oh no, that would probably start a fight. I was gonna say I can't minor illusion a regular coin to look like that coin, right?
You could, it just wouldn't last. I think minor
Oh.
illusion only goes for like a minute or something like that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Did I offer to go with him?
That's a mistake.
No, not gonna happen.
No. Okay. Okay.
He's going to look into the his little spy network or whatever, so it's quite secretive business.
I understand.
All right. How long do you think it'll take for him to do that? About a day or two? Or...
Probably just a couple hours.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll just hang out and wait for him to come back.
Okay. So time passes. You guys all, are you gonna drink while he's gone? Are you gonna get some food?
I will not. I've got
I'm
my
enjoying.
berries. My berry
You got
smoothie.
berries.
I've got my
Tasty,
cream.
tasty. Okay. So after like 3 or 4 hours, you're not even sure if this guy's coming back. You see him walk into the tavern. He nods at Dragon and sits next to you guys at your table. He says, "All right, you got lucky. I found a friend of mine, an acquaintance, who was familiar with this. He says it's called a golden goose.
Oh.
Now, if you go down to Yartar, there's a ship there, the Grand Dame. They have this sort of nightly boat trip, I guess you can call it, where they allow the people on board to dance and drink and gamble.
Oh.
On the boat there, they have the casino called the Golden Goose, and that's where these chips come from.
Yartar.
Yartar.
Now, I was also given a little bit of a warning. You see, it's not totally unusual for people of my career choice, let's say, to target places like casinos, but seems like for some reason this one's off limits. Most people try to stay away.
Is it invitation only, or?
No, it's generally reserved for the upper society, from what I understand, and there's some sort of fee to get on, and then you exchange your gold for chips, and you can gamble and do whatever you want.
Let's see. Would we know the route that this ship takes?
Well, it starts off. Let me move you back to the map. Starts off in Yartar right here.
Okay.
They go up the river here, the Cerbrin, and after a couple hours, they just turn it back around and come back down to Yartar.
Okay.
Ship usually leaves at about 7, comes back in at about 1 or 2 in the morning.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll pay him the 25, and if you want, Vinny, I can pitch in 5 gold
That's fine.
to help you out, so you don't have to do it all by yourself here. So I'll subtract 20 from yours, 5 from mine. Okay. All right. Do we have any other questions for this character?
Wait, there's a ship that we have to get on in order to get there?
Well, it sounds like there's
A ship.
the casino that we're looking for, whatever, is on this ship. It's like I guess a cruise liner. How that ties in with the Blue Dragon and the murder of King Hecaton, that remains to be seen.
Imagine in the south, like the riverboat gambling sort of ships.
Right.
Yeah.
If you ever heard of that, that's kind of what this is.
Right. But again, how does that tie in with King Hecaton?
Someone might be involved from that casino.
Right.
True.
Mm-hmm.
So the coin was found at the scene of the death of the wife. Is that?
Yes, Queen Neri, who was murdered well before any of this sort of craziness with the ordning happened. When she was murdered, the only evidence they found was one of these coins near her body.
She must
And
have
Looked like
gone
it was dropped.
Where was her body found? Do we remember that?
It was just there's like this meeting place that she had when she decided to go and visit the small folk. I'm pretty sure I explained this, so forgive me if I didn't.
I know. I remember you did. I just don't remember like if it was in Yartar or around Yartar.
No. It would have been either on the coast somewhere or maybe off of the coast on one of these little small islands that are
Okay.
like too small to mention.
So what we know is that someone on this cruise liner, or a regular customer, whatever, had something to do with the death of Queen Nereus. Is that's what it sounds like? So now we have to, I guess, head there. But you said there was a fee to get on. I have to wonder. Gosh, my notes are all over the place. In Waterdeep, there was a gentleman that helped us out. I'm looking at my notes.
Lord Roaringhorn, I believe.
Yes, I wonder if he could, like, if we explain the situation to him, I wonder if he can sponsor our fee and everything else to get on this thing to investigate. I mean, he seems like he's got money and he's a will-to-do kind of guy. What do you guys think?
Sounds good to me.
Yes.
Why not?
It's fine.
Sounds good.
Or we can just head to Yartar, and Yartar, I believe, is also Yartar is part of the fast travel network. So it's up to you. We can travel there by airship to Yartar, or we can just fast travel. What would be your preference? Like we could, I don't know.
I'm kind of curious as to what the fee is to get on board.
Yeah. Maybe we should learn more about if we fast travel to Yartar, inquire about it, get more information about it, and then if we need to head to Waterdeep, which is also part of the fast travel network. And we'll just note that we left our airship in Mirabar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is that good with everyone?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so how about we then fast travel? I paid the guy fast travel to Yartar.
Yartar, okay. Yartar.
Okay. And I believe it was the Great Dame, and the Great Dame is actually to the south of Lathander's Morning Spire. So there's the boat. It's right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys see that it docks up all day and then it goes on its nightly trip, and then the during the day it's just used to sort of clean, restock, that sort of thing.
Okay.
We
So
could sneak on board as one of those people that stock the ship. Just an option. Just
As an option.
if we go up to the ship, do we see people, like, is there some sort of overseer or, like, the person in charge of the Great Dame or the captain or the person running the casino?
You guys want to like stake it out and just sort of get a feel for it?
Right, yeah. I wanted to sort of, like, walk around it and just get an idea of what it looks like. Yeah.
Okay.
I could also ask the prison guard or the what was his name? The leader of the town or whatever of the guards, the chief. Because we helped
one
the
guy.
chief a while back.
Does any of us even know how to gamble? One of us could just be the gambler.
I think Xana wants to gamble.
I don't know.
I mean,
how to
if
gamble.
anybody did, I feel like Xana. Like, just backstory-wise, weren't you from like from people who sort of duped people? Was there ever any
Yeah.
gambling associated with that?
Pretty
I forgot to
deceptive
do my backstory.
family.
I'm mistaken.
But do you have experience with gambling?
Probably
Okay.
not.
I mean, it's up to you. I'm not saying, probably not, did you say?
Yeah, probably not.
Okay. Okay.
But
So then, yeah. So I would say that you guys probably aren't expert gamblers by any means, but I mean, gambling, especially in these times, is they don't make the games too complicated because they pretty much want anybody to just be able to do it, right?
Gotcha.
Oh, what would that be?
It's
like
not
a culture
super-
check?
What's that?
culture check or something?
Well, there's no culture check.
It's a Texas Hold'em check. Yeah.
Texas Hold'em check. You never know. I could be a closet gambler.
Let's see. If you guys, what would that be? I guess that would be like sort of like a history check, for lack of a better check.
Ugh. Damn.
Some
You
people
sure it
consider
can't be like
gambling.
deception?
I know, right?
When you're bluffing.
If you're bluffing or trying to cheat in a gambling game, then yes. But to learn about the
okay.
game, no.
Look, see 17. I'm
Okay.
good at gambling. Apparently.
You're not necessarily good at gambling, but I will say that you do know some of the games that typically occur.
Let me at them.
Should we all do history checks then?
Let me in the
Sure,
game,
go for
so I
it.
can do this.
All right, you know a little more. I do, however, I can sneak under the table, right, and do some sleight of hand switch up cards and stuff, right? Like, boom, 11 sleight of hand. Yeah,
That was
would
Vinny.
help me.
Certainly try. Okay. So between Sunset, Xana, and Dragon, you guys know that the games they typically play are, there's one that's called Hand of Fate, which functions similarly to poker, but a little bit more more specifically to Texas Hold'em, but it's a little bit more simplistic. There's a game that's called 21 that is extremely similar to blackjack, unsurprisingly.
I like that.
There is one that's called Timora's Spinner, which is quite similar to roulette. And then there is one that's called Jip. And
Gin.
it's basically you roll 2 dice, and if you hit a 7 or a 12, you win. And
Craps.
if you
Okay.
want, you can gamble more to try to get you to roll additional dice to get there.
Craps.
Okay. I don't remember what you called it, but I called the table at Texas Hold'em.
Well, sounds good. We first have to figure out though, like,
What the
if
fee is.
we're gonna stake out and we're gonna stake the place out and figure out what the fee is and all that stuff.
Okay. So if you guys are staking the place out, so this is what you see. Typically, the ship is always guarded. There seems to be like a security detail that lives on the ship and also guards it while it's docked. They don't seem like particularly fierce combatants, more like among the fighting skill of like the Red Brands that you guys fought back in Lost Mine of Phandelver, pretty unimpressive, especially at your level. There is one woman that you see who seems to be sort of like the head. I mean, well, that's not entirely true. There's one who's in charge of the guards, a man, but he looks like, just a step above them. But then beyond that, there seems to be like a person who's more in charge of the ship, a woman, and she looks like she handles like the more high class security, for lack of a better term. She is also the one that you see when people get on the ship. She exchanges the golden geese for golden dragons so that they can gamble on the ship. And you also see one person who a man who is very fancily dressed, a bit overweight, sort of like a kind of common-looking noble character, and he seems to be like the captain of the ship.
Oh wow.
How do we go about though connecting the crime to, like, we've got the coin, sure, now we know the Grand Dame, but how do we figure out amongst all these people and any customers that might come on it how and who are connected to the death of Queen Neris? Like, how do where in the world do we start?
I don't
We
know,
could get
just have
drunk.
to mention it.
Or we could ask around.
Well, asking around might get us into trouble.
We could ask the main lady, the main captain.
Yeah, give me like an insight check too.
Insight. All right.
It's going to be sort of like a retroactive insight check.
All right. Vinny, you can do yours. Insight.
Perhaps we could get the
Nope.
nobleman drunk first.
I rolled a negative.
Anyone else want to do
one
insight?
for-
Because I'm
I'll try it.
Yeah.
these rolls. Okay, you got 17.
Okay.
We're getting all the negative ones out of the way first.
Yeah.
When you guys were sitting in that bar in Mirabar, and the seedy character that Dragon found was explaining to you, it seemed very unusual to you that there was, for some reason, this ship was like off limits to the sort of thieves and rogues and that sort of thing. It just struck you wrong when he was talking about that. Why would they sort of think that this ship was off limits?
Off limits to who?
Like
The general
the
public?
thieves know not to hit this ship.
Thieves know not to hit this ship. Okay.
Probably owned by the friggin' Blue Dragon. No, I'm just kidding.
Could be.
Why would thieves stay away from that? I wonder if there's some kind of magical thing on board, or do I, using my abilities, do I detect? Well, like I would be able to detect humanoids, well, humans, orc, and giant. Do I detect? I'm assuming a lot of humanoids, but
Yeah, plenty of humans. I mean, you see other races. Obviously, there's some,
okay.
half elves, dwarves, this sort of thing that are either dock workers. It seems like the people who are sort of supplying the ship during the day seem to be just basic unskilled labor that sort of just carry crates on board and clean up the decks and this sort of thing. But no giants or orcs.
Gotcha. If we watch this ship leave, can we like count the number of people that go on board and then wait for it to come back and then count how many people come off of it, just to see if it is, you know what I mean? Like if there's something going on with this, is that a ployable strategy, folks? Like, what do you suggest? Like, how do we observe without actually going on board if there is danger on there?
Yeah, that's definitely an option.
Could we?
The thing about this is, if thieves aren't wanting to target it, it means that there's either some sort of protection, or it's connected to thieves themselves.
So the ship isn't owned by the city, right? Or owned by the king?
No.
Okay.
To answer your question, Vince, it's somewhat difficult to tell. When you do your little ranger sense when the ship is departing, you sense that there is, like, we'll say somewhere in the neighborhood of like 50 humans on board.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes back, it's still the same number. Of course, this is not counting like the dwarves, elves, non-human races,
Right. Okay. It just seems like, yeah, I mean, if... What do you folks want to do?
I'd say we should, since we've helped the city before, we could go talk to the main, whoever owns the city, and see if we can get a security problem.
You mean try and get the ship stormed with general security?
Maybe.
Just come at it from the legal approach and go, look, we found this at the scene of a crime. Can we investigate this ship?
Man, I really wanted to gamble.
Well, I mean, it's still a possibility. I'm just spitballing here. I'm just trying to get... I present options, and then people can figure out what they want to do.
Could we find out how much the fee is?
Yeah, why don't we find out how much the fee is? And if it's something that's supposedly illegal, why can't we, convince one of us to go undercover?
Yeah.
So,
Well, there's nothing illegal about the operation as far as gambling goes. It's not an illegal thing here.
Yeah, well, there we go. We'll just see how much the fee is then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, if you guys want, you guys figure out that it costs 15 gold a head to get on board, and then that's basically for the trip and the food on board, as well as drink. And then if you want to, you can then exchange your gold for gambling chips, so you can gamble at the tables there.
I am so down to board.
Well, we can. I mean, I've got 15 gold. I can...
Me too.
Nor do I.
Yeah.
Do you want to do this, folks, or... Like,
Sure.
do you want to land on it with our airship and just...
That would be very
Land on
bad.
like a helipad.
Yeah, right.
We could do that too. I mean, it'd be a mess, but I mean,
I think they'd all attack it.
they would indeed, yeah. But It'd be fun though.
Well, if you
The
want,
other,
uh-huh.
sorry, I just wanted to mention too that when you guys watch this thing leave, when you were doing your sort of head count strategy,
Mhm.
you notice that as they unhook themselves from the docks, like about 8 oars came out of the side of the ship and started rowing. So that's how they're going up and down the river. It's manual force. There seems
Oh,
to be
wow.
people down in the deck, the hull, I guess I should say, that are rowing this boat.
Hmm. Well, there's an idea too.